Welcome back to the cryptowrld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now both Bitcoin and Ethereum are on their way to hitting the technical price targets for these symmetrical triangle patterns. But between the current market prices and the technical price targets, there are other levels of resistance between now and then that we need to pay attention to, and I'll be talking more about that later in the video, so definitely stick around. First of all, just giving you a quick update on the US stock market. This right here is the Nasdaq 100 index on the daily time frame, and over the last one trading day, we've seen a small bounce so far from this range of support, which stems from the June low. And this small bounce at the time of recording this video is continuing with today's trading day in the stock market. And in case you're wondering, this range of support that I'm looking at here is sitting in between 11.2k and 11,000 in the Nasdaq 100 index. But the Nasdaq 100 index isn't only bouncing just because it's running into this horizontal range of support. It's also potentially seeing this bounce due to the fact that the daily RSI recently entered into oversold territories, which was basically telling us that we have somewhat limited room to the downside in the short term for the Nasdaq 100 index, which is why we're experiencing a little bit of a relief at the moment. Now, obviously, even though we're seeing a small bounce in the stock market at the moment, this is certainly not confirmed to be a bullish reversal. So technically speaking, as of right now, we are still within this bearish trend. The bearish trend has not actually been broken. But at least in the short term, for the time being, while we're seeing a bounce in the stock market, this is actually a bullish thing for crypto in the short term, as we're seeing in the Bitcoin price over the last couple of days. We've definitely started to see more of a bounce in the price of Bitcoin after experiencing a lot of support at this range of support that I've been talking about for a while now on this channel, which is coming into play in between 18,500 and 19,000. And of course, this is also happening after we confirmed this bullish divergence on the daily Bitcoin chart pretty much around a week ago, which, as I said back then, this bullish divergence means that we're due to see reduced bearish momentum, which usually plays out in the form of choppy sideways price action and sometimes a slight bullish relief. But basically, a bullish divergence tells us that we have limited room to the downside in the shorter term. But once again, as of right now, even though we're experiencing a bounce in the price of Bitcoin, we haven't actually confirmed a bullish reversal out of this bearish trend, because technically speaking, we're still in a lower high, lower low price structure, which is technically what a bearish trend is. So as of right now, we have not broken out of the bearish trend just yet. But despite that being the case, if we zoom into the smaller time frames, obviously we're looking more bullish than bearish in the immediate short term, ever since the price of Bitcoin confirmed this breakout from the symmetrical triangle pattern, which I've been talking about for the last 2 days now on this channel. And if you subscribe to this channel and you watch my last 2 videos over the last couple of days, then you'll know that I was saying that either way, whether we break bullish or bearish from the symmetrical triangle pattern, we can actually trade no matter what direction this takes. And all we really needed to know to make money on this next move was the resistance line, the support line for the symmetrical triangle pattern, and the price target, whether we break resistance or break support. And as I explained yesterday, a break of one of these levels can be confirmed with just a 4-hour candle close. But if we want to look for extra confirmation, then something like a retest can also add extra confirmation, which is actually what we saw just here in the following 4-hour candle. As you can see, we saw a candle wick back down to this previous line of resistance and saw a bounce from that line, confirming it as new support. And so from that moment, when we saw these confirmation signals on the 4-hour Bitcoin chart for the breakout to the upside, that was essentially the signal to enter into a long position. Now, I can't give you personal financial advice, and so this is all for educational purposes, but obviously if you entered a long position right here when we got these confirmation signals, you're doing very well so far. And now the technical price target for this breakout to the upside is sitting at around 20.9k, so just underneath $21,000 per Bitcoin. And from the point of the breakout to that technical price target, that was a potential 10% gain with no leverage. So obviously on a 5x leverage trade, for example, that's a possible 50% gain. And from the current Bitcoin price at the time of recording this video to that technical price target, that's still another 3% gain approximately. But just a couple important things to mention here. First of all, considering the fact that the price is now closer to the technical price target than it is to the breakout point, if, for example, I missed that initial entry point, I certainly would not be entering into a long position to try and trade to this price target right now. Considering the price has already pumped, there's simply an increased risk of entering into a long position here compared to entering into a long position at the breakout point. But once again, that is not financial advice. That's just letting you know what I personally would or wouldn't do with my own money. And also what I usually do on a trade like this is move my stop loss at least up into my entry price, if not into profits, especially if the trade is this close to the technical price targets. And so if I do that, if I move my stop loss into profit, then in the worst case scenario, if the price turns around sooner than expected, then at least that would stop me out of my trade into profit. So in the worst case scenario, I'm still locking in profits. And staying on the 4-hour Bitcoin chart, but something else that we need to consider is obviously these horizontal levels of resistance, these Fibonacci levels of resistance, which by the way, the 50% retracement level is currently sitting at around 20.3K approximately. And so that's the immediate level of resistance that I'm currently paying attention to. And anything above that level, then I'll be looking towards the golden pocket level of resistance, which is sitting at around 20.9K, close to 21,000, which is almost exactly where that technical price target is sitting at, right at the golden pocket. And while we're on the 4-hour Bitcoin chart, something else that we need to be aware of is the fact that the 4-hour Bitcoin RSI is currently sitting in overbought territories as of recording this video. And historically speaking, when the RSI enters into overbought territories, that's basically telling us that we have somewhat limited room to the upside in the immediate short term. Now, that doesn't mean that it's impossible for the price to go a little bit further to the upside, just like how if the RSI is oversold, it doesn't mean it's impossible for the price to go down a little bit further. But once again, historically speaking, it does mean that we have limited room to the upside if the RSI is overbought. Kind of like what we saw back here, the price only drifted to the upside a little bit further, but definitely slowed down from that previous upwards trajectory. But we need to consider these levels of resistance, which do have the potential to stop the price of Bitcoin on this upwards move. That's why I said earlier, I wouldn't exactly enter into a long position right now. But anyway, getting into the Ethereum part of this video, this right here is the daily Ethereum chart. And obviously the price of ETH is still continuing from this bounce off the golden pocket level of support, which by the way is sitting at 1.2K on the logarithmic scale. And on top of that, something else that I've been talking about over the last few days in these videos on this channel is the fact that the daily Ethereum MACD is currently showing reduced bearish momentum, which is somewhat similar to a bullish divergence, because typically when we see reduced bearish momentum in the daily Ethereum MACD, we usually see either choppy sideways price action or a slight bullish relief in the price of ETH. And as expected, that's pretty much exactly what we have been seeing over the last few days, with the price action mostly chopping around sideways over the last 1 week or so, and then just in the most recent 1 to 2 days, we've seen a little bit more of a bullish relief in the somewhat shorter term. But keep in mind, as I've also been mentioning over the last few days, even though we're seeing some of these short-term bullish signals, this doesn't actually confirm a bullish trend reversal, because for example, we saw these signals back here, and that did result in some short-term bullish relief, but we remained within this bearish trend, forming lower highs and lower lows. So as of right now, we have not confirmed a break out of that bearish trend, but in the immediate short term, we are currently looking slightly more bullish than bearish just in the short term. And we can obviously see this if we zoom into the 4-hour Ethereum chart, especially because we confirmed a breakout from this symmetrical triangle pattern. And so like I said earlier in the video for Bitcoin, the moment we got some confirmation signals here for the breakout to the upside in the price of ETH, such as some 4-hour candle closes above this line of resistance, then that basically acted as a signal to enter into a long position. And so far, anyone who took that signal is obviously doing well. And the technical price target for this breakout to the upside is sitting at just underneath 1.5K, more specifically around 1490. And so from the point of this breakout to that technical price target, that was a possible 13% gain with no leverage. And from the current price at the time of recording this video to that technical price target, that's still another 7% gain to the upside approximately. But once again, like I said earlier in the video for Bitcoin, entering into a long position now after we've already seen a decent gain to the upside comes with a lot more risk, because we've already moved past the breaking points. And so technically speaking, right now, based on where the price is and the technical price target, there's obviously reduced reward compared to the breakout point, while there's technically increased risk because the price is higher than the point of the breakout for a long position, obviously. And so once again, this technically means that it's currently much more risky to enter into a new long position. And so due to that, if let's just say I miss this entry point for the breakout to the upside, I personally would not enter into a new long position right here with the increased risk and reduced reward. But obviously, that's just letting you know what I personally would or wouldn't do with my own money, and is not financial advice for you, because obviously you can do whatever you want with your own money. And staying on the 4-hour Ethereum chart, but something else to consider here is the fact that the price of ETH is pretty much running into this 38.2% Fibonacci level of resistance, which is sitting at around 1.4k, more specifically around 1410. And on top of that, the 4-hour Ethereum RSI is starting to get close to overbought territories, although right now, unlike Bitcoin, it hasn't actually entered into overbought territories, at least not yet. And now, if the price of ETH confirms a break above 1410, then I'll be looking towards this 50% retracement level, which is sitting at around 1470 to 1480, and anything above that level, then I'll be looking towards the golden pocket level of resistance, which is sitting at around 1550. And if you want to know how to maximize your profits in crypto, no matter if the price is going up, down, or just chopping around sideways, then check out these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left of your screen shows you how to make money in crypto if the price is going either up or down, and the video in the bottom left of your screen shows you how to make money in crypto if the price is chopping around sideways. But anyway, that's everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.